An earthquake in a mining area in the Philippines unearthed a startling discovery. A huge skeleton lay in the mine. However, as time passed, the skeleton, now a pile of fossils, revealed a massive parasitic egg. Another discovery was made at the other end. A similar egg had already hatched and crawled towards the exit. Following the trail from the exit, a huge drag mark was found in the forest, extending all the way to the sea. This led to speculation about what could cause such massive destruction. In Japan, across the ocean, Joe was an engineer at a nuclear power plant. That day, he received a report from a colleague about seismic activity detected at the base of the plant. The seismic waves were irregular, but this time they were rhythmic and growing stronger. As his colleague thought it might be an aftershock of the Philippine earthquake, the room began to shake. Joe hurried to shut down the reactor and contact his wife, who was working at the base, but the quake was too fast, and a severe nuclear leak occurred. Joe waited anxiously at the exit for his wife, but he faced a surge of nuclear leakage and had to close the manual valve to temporarily contain it. Sadly, his wife couldn't make it out alive. The earthquake's intensity kept increasing, and soon the entire nuclear power plant was in ruins. 15 years passed, and the town around the plant was sealed off. But Joe was still investigating the earthquake's origin, convinced there was a hidden truth. His son, Ford, worried for his safety, accompanied him into the restricted zone. Joe, seeing a radiation detector read 0 and large dogs running past, realized there was no nuclear radiation. Why then was the area still sealed? Confused, Joe returned to his former home and found the disk from before the earthquake. A helicopter flew overhead, and they discovered a new nuclear power plant in the restricted area, perhaps explaining the closure. Just as Joe planned to leave, patrol personnel happened by and took him to the nearby plant. A secret research project was underway there, studying a dark cocoon, the monster that caused the earthquake 15 years ago. Professor Serizawa, in charge of the research, realized the monster needed nuclear radiation for nourishment and had built the plant for it. The monster, growing increasingly mature, drained 3 reactors and caused abnormal fluctuations. Joe, detained, realized the connection between this and the earthquake 15 years ago. He warned Serizawa to stop the feeding program. After reviewing Joe's data and the seismic activity, Serizawa evacuated the workers and tried to kill the monster. A worker bravely checked the cocoon after the fluctuations normalized, only to find that high-voltage shocks couldn't kill it. The monster, named Muto, had a massive body and modern technological abilities. With a stomp, it sent out a pulse that interfered with electronics for miles. The staff activated backup power, and it was revealed that Muto was an ancient, long-extinct creature. Muto bent several towers, and the number of workers dying in the accident, including Joe trying to escape, increased. Then, Muto climbed out of the pit and swiftly flew away with a flap of its wings. After the incident, the nuclear power plant was in disarray, and the military officially took over Serizawa's secret project. To continue the work, Serizawa hoped for Joe's help, but Joe, critically injured, died on a plane shortly after. Joe's son, Ford, was then approached and asked for assistance. Back in 1954, an American nuclear submarine reached unprecedented ocean depths and awoke a giant unknown creature, initially thought to be a Russian pet. Russia disproved this by dropping nuclear bombs in the ocean. The U.S., suspecting deceit, also dropped nuclear bombs, but the giant creature thrived instead of dying. Research revealed that this creature predated humanity by millions of years. Found deep in the ocean, it lived off radioactive material from the Earth's core. This nuclear-powered monster led to a secret plan to study and contain it. The creature was given the imposing name Godzilla. Now, with Joe gone, Serizawa hoped Ford could recall anything his father had mentioned about animal communication and echolocation. Monsters communicate and summon each other using sound waves, leading to a complex situation. In a dense forest near San Francisco, a U.S. Special Forces team searched for a Russian submarine that had vanished. The Russians, having received signals from the sub in this area, requested U.S. assistance. The missing submarine appeared, but only when helicopters arrived did they discover the monster Muto behind it, chewing on a nuclear warhead and swallowing it. Admiral William, watching the scene, immediately dispatched fighter jets to eliminate Muto. As Muto continued consuming nuclear bombs, it noticed humans approaching. Its tentacles emitted a dark red glow, and a pulse disrupted electronics for miles, causing jets to crash. Nearby cities plunged into darkness. While people watched the flames from the crashing jets on the mountain, a huge tsunami suddenly rose from the sea. Many were overwhelmed by the water before they could escape. Soldiers fired flares to light up the sky and spotted a dark creature moving slowly. Some soldiers fired at the creature, which was the deep-sea dwelling Godzilla. Godzilla walked towards Muto, which headed for the airport, despite being fired upon by helicopters. Muto remained unharmed and destroyed one with a flick of its tentacle. Muto, unaware that its presence had attracted Godzilla, faced Godzilla's roar but chose to flee. Flying away swiftly, Godzilla submerged and pursued Muto. Escorted by the human military, Godzilla chased Muto. Serizawa believed Muto might be trying to summon a mate, inadvertently drawing out Godzilla. Serizawa recalled the egg found in the Philippines, leading him to send a team to the nuclear waste storage where the egg had been secretly kept. Soldiers discovered an unusual room. Realizing the Muto had hatched and escaped, the general planned to use a timed nuclear bomb as bait, detonating it when the three monsters converged. To minimize nuclear risks, the detonation was set for the ocean.
He's have footage of the new Muto.
Let's have a look at it.
Troops assembled near the Golden Gate Bridge. The monsters predicted convergence point. Godzilla, escorted by naval ships, headed to kill its nemesis, Muto, while the military activated the nuclear bomb timer. However, a pulse interference soon disrupted military equipment, and Muto descended from the sky, sinking the ship carrying the bomb before retrieving it from the sea. Muto kept the bomb, intending it for its mate. Having secured its food, Muto flew towards the city. Admiral William, seeing the plan change, dispatched a bomb squad to disarm the bomb. Muto met its mate, the winged one being male and the larger one female. The female Muto collected food for the eggs she carried. She dug a hole and laid her eggs. A scene discovered by Ford and his team. The unexploded bomb was left by Muto, possibly as nourishment for its offspring. Godzilla, finding the female Muto, attacked her fiercely. As Godzilla prepared to finish her, the male Muto arrived. The female Muto, safe, tackled Godzilla, putting him in a difficult position. The team removed the bomb and hurriedly left. Ford, alarmed by the number of Muto eggs and the potential danger if they all hatched, returned to the pit. He pried open the fuel tank of a truck and used it to start a large fire, destroying all the eggs. Upon seeing the fire at her nesting site, the female Muto hurriedly approached to investigate. It noticed Ford, who was injured, and identified him as the one responsible for setting the fire. Godzilla appeared beside her, its back glowing, using its atomic breath for the first time. The female Muto couldn't withstand this energy, and the male Muto attacked Godzilla from behind. Godzilla caught the male's wing and flung him away. The male Muto crashed into a building, impaled by concrete and steel. Meanwhile, the female Muto pursued the bomb squad. Ford secretly moved the bomb onto a boat. With the bomb nearing detonation, Ford steered the boat away. The team was quickly annihilated, and the female Muto approached Ford. Godzilla intervened, biting her neck and prying open her mouth to deliver a killing blow. Godzilla helped humans because Muto killed its family. Godzilla has an organ generating nuclear energy, and the ancient creature found dead in the Philippines was its kin. The two parasitic eggs inside the body were the culprits behind the death of that Godzilla. Upon learning of the hatching of these eggs, Godzilla emerged from the depths of the ocean to seek revenge. After Godzilla defeated both Mutos, it became a savior in the eyes of the city's residents. Despite this newfound hero status, Godzilla remained indifferent to human accolades. In a display of its enigmatic nature, Godzilla submerged back into the ocean, gradually fading from the sight and minds of the people it had just saved.